Well, last weekend, Ilia Topuria absolutely flatlined Charles Oliveira, and I still haven't fully recovered, but now we have a new topic we need to discuss. Is Ilia Topuria the GOAT? There's really only two people who we can discuss to be the current GOAT of the sport, and both are very close to just being the GOAT altogether. And those two are Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. And honestly, after seeing that Ilia Topuria vs Charles Oliveira fight, I think Ilia might just knock out Islam. Before last Saturday, I was fully confident that Islam would just wrestle him, get him tired, and then submit him. But now I'm not so sure. Even though Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira were on the ground for only a few seconds, you could still tell that Ilia knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to ground game. He is good at ground game. He's not like Dustin Poirier or Justin Gaethje, where they are just completely helpless when they're on the ground. Ilia Topuria is only 28 years old and he's already passed Khabib and many other fighters on the GOAT list. And Ilia technically hasn't even hit his prime yet, which is just insane to think about. And he has the best win streak of all time. Just think about it. First of all, he's undefeated, and unlike Khabib, he's not fighting absolute trash cans. But Ilia's last 3 wins are absolutely insane. First, he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski in the second round brutally. Then he knocked out Max Holloway in the third round brutally. And then he knocked out Charles Oliveira in the first round brutally. And I hate that Charles Oliveira's knockout was the most brutal out of all of them. Why did Ilia have to knock out Charles, my favorite fighter, the most brutal out of all of his knockouts? Ilia Topuria is pretty much the Kratos of the UFC. He's just walking around, absolutely flatlining these legends of the sport and leaving their fan bases in ruins. And the worst part about the entire thing is you can't even hate Ilia Topuria. He's a good guy and a lot of people can just look up to him. I mean, there's not really any reason to hate Ilia Topuria. He's extremely respectful. Yeah, sometimes he does do trash talk, but who doesn't like a little trash talk here and there? And yes, he is extremely cocky, but at this point, is he even being cocky? I think he might just be telling us the truth because everything he says he's going to do, he does it perfectly. I genuinely believe that around 60% of his fan base are just fanboys from Spain or Georgia who are just in love with Ilia, but then the other 40% are just a combination of Volk, Max, and Charles' fan base who can't really hate on Ilia, so they just accept that Ilia might be the greatest fighter of all time. We have seen no one do what Ilia has done. Islam beat Charles, Volk twice, and Dustin, but he didn't do it nearly as dominant as Ilia did for his last 3 opponents. And at lightweight, he seems to be even more powerful than he was down at featherweight. I don't think his power levels have gone down at all. I honestly don't think anyone at lightweight will be able to defeat him. I think the person who has the best chances is Arman Tsarukyan, but even then, I think Arman is going to get absolutely flatlined, just like everyone else. Ilia has also been talking about how he wants to move up to welterweight and fight for the welterweight belt. And back in the day, I used to think, he's going to get absolutely steamrolled up at welterweight. He should not go up there. They're going to be way too big for him. But now, honestly, I'm not so sure about that. I still think they would be way too big for him and he would get taken down or just knocked out. But I wouldn't be surprised if he just became the welterweight champion. Ilia could do like a triple backflip and head kick knockout Paddy Pimblett, and I still wouldn't be surprised. He has the best boxing in the UFC, and he actually has good ground game. Something I was saying a lot in the build-up for the Oliveira vs Topuria fight is that Charles Oliveira might just be able to take down Ilia and kind of expose Ilia's grappling, since he hasn't really been able to use it against the top level fighters. I mean, for crying out loud, he was getting out-grappled by Bryce Mitchell for majority of their fight, but Ilia has improved so much over the past couple of years. And now I think Ilia might just be the most well-rounded fighter in the entire UFC. Now, I would like to see him throw more kicks, like body kicks and head kicks, but honestly, I don't know why he would start. He's already perfected the calf kick, and he probably punches twice as hard as he kicks. I'm looking at the lightweight rankings, and I honestly don't see anyone who I can confidently say would have a decent chance against Ilia Topuria. Even at featherweight, some people were thinking Movsar Evloev and Diego Lopez would have a decent chance against him, but now I'm pretty sure Ilia would just knock them both out. Unless Ilia moves up to welterweight or someone gets super lucky, I don't see anyone beating Ilia Topuria. And the confidence that Ilia Topuria gives off is absolutely crazy. He was celebrating his win over Charles Oliveira before they even fought, and during his walkout, he was smiling. When I saw him celebrating his win early, I was like, oh yeah, come on Ilia, get too cocky, overlook Charles Oliveira, he's gonna surprise you. But then he turned out to just knock out Charles Oliveira pretty much easily in the first round. And it's so painful to say that Ilia Topuria easily knocked out Charles Oliveira in the first round, but it's just true. He easily knocked out Charles Oliveira. What can't this guy do? And this is completely unrelated to how good Ilia Topuria is, but can we all just acknowledge that he has the coolest walkout song? Whenever I hear that, I'm like, damn, that's cool. And another thing Ilia does that I like is he actually runs towards the octagon. He doesn't slowly walk. I remember MVP did that once when he was going to fight Ian Gary, I think it was, and I was already asleep before he even got into the cage. But I love it that Ilia Topuria will actually run towards the cage. I feel like I'm a victim of Stockholm Syndrome, but instead of Ilia kidnapping me, he just knocked out my favorite fighter brutally. I also see a lot of people praising Ilia Topuria's power, but I don't see a lot of people talking about just how accurate his punches are. Whenever he hits someone, he's always directly on the chin. It's never on the temple, it's never on the forehead. When he throws a hook, it's perfectly placed on the chin. His accuracy is insane, and that's why he's flatlining everybody. He has insane power and insane accuracy, and he's pretty fast too. And he knows it too. That's why he's so confident. He knows in that 25 minutes he will find your chin. And to be honest, even if he doesn't find your chin and hits you in the forehead or the temple, you're still most likely going to get knocked out because he's throwing missiles at you and he's so fast. Ilia Topuria is also pretty humble. I know that's crazy to say because he doesn't really seem humble, but I saw a clip the other day and Ilia Topuria was saying he doesn't think he's unbeatable. He thinks he's beatable and he's very beatable, so that's just why he trains so hard, because he knows he's not unbeatable. And while I'm talking about Ilia Topuria, I might as well just talk about a hypothetical fight between him and Islam. And since we haven't seen either of them fight up at welterweight, this isn't going to be a fight at welterweight, it's going to stay at lightweight. Like I said earlier in the video, I thought Islam would just be able to wrestle Ilia, and I do believe that he would be able to take Ilia down, but I don't know if he would be able to do as good as we think he would in the grappling. And if the fight stays on the feet long enough, Islam is going to get knocked out. People say Islam has insane striking and was able to outbox Dustin, but the only reason he was able to do well against Dustin in the stand-up is because Dustin was only thinking about the takedown the entire time. Now, Islam Makhachev does have good striking, don't get me wrong, but I do believe it's highly overrated, and I think it would get exposed by someone like Ilia who wouldn't fear the takedown, and I think Ilia would knock out Islam in the first 2 rounds. But anyways, that is going to be the very end of the video. Let me know down in the comments below, do you think Ilia Topuria is the greatest fighter we have ever seen in the UFC? I might just be completely mentally broken after seeing Oliveira get knocked out, and I'm overhyping Ilia a lot in this video, but I honestly don't think I am. But if you've made it this far, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, I have a lot. From a video talking about how Jon Jones is nowhere near the GOAT list, to a video on how I 100% believe that Jon Jones has been to a Diddy party. I know, I've been posting about Jon Jones a lot recently, but I am officially done posting about him. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.